Did you ever wonder where images like this one of the pillars of creation were located spatially in the galaxy? Or what about the closest pulsars, black holes, and neutron stars? This video is going to show you where those things are, but also, with new data from just the last year, we'll get a look at the structure of the interstellar galactic medium as far as we've mapped it. And while we're at it, a 3D version of the Pioneer and Voyager pulsar map. While you may have seen images of the galaxy that looked like this, or this, or this, they are just educated guesses because we can't directly observe the entire galaxy because we live inside of it. But we can directly observe the interstellar dust clouds within a few thousand light years. And that's what we're looking at here. Space isn't just empty space, it's filled with dust and gas, especially in the galactic disk where Earth is. This isn't exactly what it really looks like, but it is direct scientific 3D dust data that I've used to show the density of the dust clouds around Earth. And you can kind of start to see the structure of the interstellar medium. These are the main super clouds, and our solar system is wedged right in between the Radcliffe wave and the split. Sometimes science has better names than sci-fi. The split cloud is where the famous Aquila Rift is located, which you may have heard from the Love, Death, and Robots short story by Alastair Reynolds. But let's move into local space first, and then move out. You might be able to tell at the center of this image that the solar system exists, much like myself and many of us, in a bubble. It's a 1,000 light-year diameter area in space called the local bubble. And it's not a bubble because it's devoid of stars. There are millions of stars within it. I'm only showing the dust here. It was created by a supernova or several supernovae that exploded about 20 million years ago, which then expanded over the eons and pushed the dust out to about 1,000 light years in diameter, where it is today. And what we're looking at here is even more recent data from Harvard astronomer Theo O'Neill, showing that the bubble is expanding into a chimney with gas and dust flowing up and out of the disk in this direction, which is actually a common process throughout the galaxy, throughout all galaxies, called the baryon cycle, where dust and gases get recycled throughout the galactic disk. And all of this new data has revealed last year one of the closest dust clouds to Earth, the Eos cloud, about 300 light years away. And if it was visible from the night sky, this is what it would look like. Almost directly north toward the galactic center is the closest known neutron star. It's about 400 light years away. Neutron stars are the dense remnants of supernovae, and most of them are dark, not emitting much light or electromagnetic radiation. But this is one of 7 neutron stars discovered in the 90s known as the Magnificent Seven, which are bright in the X-ray spectrum, so we can see them pretty easily. But most neutron stars are even darker, and it's likely that there are several closer than this one. On the other hand, sometimes neutron stars are very, very bright. They're the ones that have a spin and an extremely strong magnetic field. They're known as pulsars because they pulse when the poles sweep in our direction. The closest known pulsar is about 460 light years away, almost directly east. Pulsars were first discovered in the late 60s, and due to their regularity of their pulsations, 14 were chosen to create a map pointing back to Earth, which was placed as a plaque on the first probes to leave our solar system, the Pioneer and Voyager probes, so that aliens could find their way back to Earth. Whether or not that was a good idea is a matter of debate, but let's just focus on the map itself for now. The way to read this map is that it's centered on Earth, and the long line is in the direction toward the galactic core. But this projection doesn't quite map exactly onto 3D. This is more what it looks like in 3D. We also now know that the pulsars are not quite as regular as we thought, and their spin rates do vary over time. But there's too much to get into. There's a lot of thought and differing opinion on this map, but the reality is the probes are not going to leave our local neighborhood for hundreds of thousands of years, and it's likely that any advanced spacefaring alien species would be able to just reverse engineer the trajectory of the probe itself to figure out where it came from, which might be my next video, so don't forget to subscribe. But now let's look at some of the famous nearby nebulae. The closest nebula to Earth is the Helix Nebula, sometimes called the Eye of Sauron because it looks like an eye. It's about 650 light years away, and it's quite small, just under 6 light years across, so I have to scale it up so we can see it from this distance. Another famous nebula that you might have seen an image of is the Horsehead Nebula. The Horsehead Nebula is in the Orion constellation near the Orion Nebula over here, but from this perspective it's upside down, so we gotta flip over. Hold on to your butts. It's about 1400 light years from Earth and is right in the middle of the Orion complex, which is a huge area of space with tons of famous lore like the stars Betelgeuse, Rigel, and Bellatrix. Too much to get into in this video. It's a really interesting part of space and that may get its own dedicated video in the future. From the intro of this video, the Eagle Nebula with the image of the Pillars of Creation is in the opposite direction, toward the galactic core. And the Cat's Eye Nebula is to the west. The Carina Nebula, which was my desktop wallpaper for a long time, is way to the east, about 16,000 light years away. And most of the other famous images from the JWST are much, much farther away in other galaxies. I'm sorry if I didn't list your favorite nebula here. Please let me know in the comments what I missed. As for black holes, there is of course the supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy, 27,000 light years away, Sagittarius A star. The closest to Earth used to be A0620-00, which is behind the Orion and Horsehead Nebula. But more recent data from the Gaia mission has found that the closest known black hole, Gaia BH1, is only 1500 light years away. Dear whoever named this, thank you so much for naming it something intuitive. It's called Gaia BH1 for Gaia, the satellite that found it, and BH1 for Black Hole 1. Although, it was only a coincidence that the first black hole discovered by Gaia was the closest. Gaia BH3 is the second closest, and Gaia BH2 is the third. Why can't we have nice things? And I'd be remiss to not mention Cygnus X1, which not only has a great name, is one of the most studied black holes, about 7,000 light years away to the west. I should note that all of these black holes that I mentioned are binary systems, meaning that there's another star orbiting the black hole. And that's how we found them. Black holes are obviously black and difficult to detect, and gravity is much weaker than you think. These black holes are too small and their gravity too weak to affect stars far away. But when there's a star orbiting around them, it's close enough that it is affected by the black hole's gravity. So it's probable that there are closer black holes lurking in the darkness yet to be discovered. And I'm not sure if you noticed, but most of these objects are pretty close to the galactic plane relative to these interstellar distances. Even the dust clouds only rise up to about 1,000 light years thick. The galactic disk is surprisingly flat, and it shocks me every time I see how thin it is, which is kind of why cardinal 2D directions like east, west, north, and south kind of make sense when you're talking about interstellar distances beyond a few hundred light years. There's another nebula I haven't mentioned yet, and it's not an interstellar cloud. It's a place where you can find all of my content ad-free and before it ever shows up on YouTube. It's more than just my work. There's original, unfiltered stuff like Real Life Lore's Mad Kings series,
with the country's longtime dictator on board, Idi Amin, who is experiencing the find out phase after years of fucking around.
or like Amy's Dead End Dream House, which is a kid show made for adults. It's wild. But my personal favorite is Neo's Underexposure series, which are original animated documentaries like this one on the Twin Towers or The Raising of the Titanic, which is a short documentary on what went into raising a large chunk of the Titanic with haunting and original visuals. What really stands out to me is how these videos are more human and more personal and sometimes weird, but in a good way. It's the kind of stuff you're just not going to see on YouTube. It's only on Nebula. If you haven't heard of Nebula, it's not a cloud in space, but an independent streaming platform created and run by creators. I am so stoked to join this platform with creators who make thoughtful, original content that would ordinarily die by committee in corporate boardrooms and support human-made independent content. When you use my code nebula.tv/overview effect, You'll get 40% off an annual plan, which brings the effective per month cost down to just $3. And right now you can also pick up a lifetime subscription, normally $500, but discounted to $300 with my code. If you sign up, you're helping keep independent creators like me going. So a big thanks to you if you do sign up.